Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to be talking about 5 massive infrastructure projects across Australia that you need to know about so that you can select the right locations to get some huge growth in your first or in your next investment property. So if you're looking for capital growth with some positive cash flow to boot, then this video is going to be for you. And my name's PK and I help people buy properties that have a combination of positive cash flow and capital growth so that they can scale passive income. I do this without, needing to spend $15,000 on a buyer's agent or without having to waste your weekends at inspections or flying around the country. And if you get value out of this video, and if you get value out of my channel in general, then smash the subscribe button on YouTube, hit the notification bell, hit the thumbs up. So importantly, hit the thumbs up icon, give it a like on YouTube. If you're watching as part of my 7,000 group Facebook page, my Facebook group community, then welcome. Thank you for being with us. Hit the like, hit the love button, tag someone who will actually benefit from this video. Share it, guys. And if you aren't part of my YouTube or 7,000 member Facebook group, then, join. All right, guys, well, let's get into it. So you often know that I talk about the fact that actually infrastructure alone doesn't create capital growth, right? And there's another video and many other videos that I've done on that. Go back, there's countless examples. Peachtree University in Brisbane, the new Bella Vista Kellyville train line in Sydney. I've done so many of these types of videos. Infrastructure is great, but in of itself, it doesn't drive capital growth. But these 5 projects will definitely significantly impact their local property markets and the markets that they affect indirectly. So, I'm going to be talking about suburbs in this video. I'm going to be talking about cities in this video. If you want to be more scientific and just stop scrolling forever on realestate.com trying to find a good suburb, then this video will be super useful, and watch right through to the end. Okay. So I'm going to be talking about those 5. Let's start number 1. I've got my laptop right below me, so I'm going to be reading because I've made some notes for you guys. All right, so let's get into it. The first one is the Inland Rail project. So this is a $10 billion project. It's a new rail line for cargo for infrastructure that will span almost 2,000 kilometers, connecting ports in Melbourne and Brisbane. And it's gonna see, like an anticipated 75% increase in demand and freight demand over the next decade. All right, so it's already, being built. So this isn't like with infrastructure projects, you need to be careful of not just buying somewhere where the media is talking about it or it's planned or pre-feasibility or pre-finance. This one is actually already being built. It will be completed in 2025. And it will more effectively transport food and cargo across the eastern states, all right? So it's for the trucking network. It kind of supplements the trucking network. The thing is that this is going to unlock a lot of agricultural precincts across Australia, especially, actually on the East Coast. And therefore, it's going to allow that increased demand that I talked about to be fed or to be met by these local precincts or these local areas. So there's going to be 16,000 new jobs created as a result of this. That's over the 10-year process or 10-year period. And here's the thing that you guys want me to talk about. Here are the suburbs, or here are the towns, I should say, that will benefit the most from this project. So the first one is Seymour, we're talking Victoria here, Bendigo, Shepparton, Albury, Wagga Wagga, Griffith, Parks, Dubbo, Narrabri, Armidale, Goondiwindi, Toowoomba, and Beaudesert. All right, so if you didn't catch that, rewind this video, go back and go through those locations. Now, I always say that much like stock trading, investing in real estate is composed of long-term and short-term decisions. So in the stock market, you could buy a fundamentally good company that is going to do well over the next 10 or 20 years, let's say Coles or Woolies or something like that. But that doesn't mean that that stock price will go up in the next 6 months, the next 12 months, the next 18 months, the next 2 years. You can have the best company. Those of you who invest in the stock market, you know what I'm talking about. You can have the best company, but it may underperform in the short term because the fundamental analysis is different from the technical analysis. Fundamental is long-term, technical is short-term. So similarly, in real estate markets, infrastructure affects predominantly long-term. It's great. We want that long-term growth, but in of itself, it doesn't impact or necessarily mean that short-term growth will be there. So you need to analyze these individual cities or towns that I've mentioned for their own merits on the technical analysis, and I have probably 50 other videos that teach you how to do that. I'll also leave a link below to the Property Investment Accelerator, which is geared towards making $50,000, $150,000 in the first 6 or 18 months or 2 years of your property investment. But these towns and these cities that I've just mentioned, they're definitely going to improve over the long term, right? And I know that if you're in Sydney and Melbourne, you kind of think regional areas, higher risk, all that sort of stuff. I've done so many videos on how to unlearn that cognitive bias, right? Regional areas perform just as well in Australia over the long term as capital cities. But that's not the point of this video. That's already covered in other videos. Check them out. But these are the towns that will do the best based on this inland project, all right? So huge project. It's a great one. The second infrastructure project is the GFG Alliance Steelworks. So this is a $600 million development of a new steel mill at Whyalla. It's by no relation to me, Sanjeev Gupta. You know, he's a billionaire in the UK. It's been financed now. There's been some political tension around that, but it's been financed now. It's going to double the steel production from the existing plant, and there's going to be more solar plants and other things like that being built around it. Almost 2,000 new jobs will be created based on this. And, you know, the median price in Whyalla is like $200,000. So if you're thinking, hey, you know, how am I going to invest in property? I only have a $20,000 deposit or a $25,000 deposit. Look, you can take that. You can get your property in Whyalla. I can tell you it's definitely not going to go backwards. It will definitely increase in value. Are there better areas to invest for that kind of money? Yes, but this video is talking about big infrastructure projects. You have to do your due diligence, but I'm just giving you so much value, guys, that you don't hear anywhere else. Whyalla will do well. I know that's what you want to hear. And if you have, you know, only $25,000, $30,000, you can still invest in property. In fact, there's many areas that are low risk that you can do that. Third infrastructure project is the Western Parkland city. I'm still concerned or surprised that many people don't know about this. This is out in Western Sydney. I'm going to read from my notes. So it's a series of projects worth more than $20 billion. It's going to further develop a new Western Sydney city. I'm not talking Parramatta here. It's ages away, like 2036, you know, it's going to have a population, they are saying, of 1.5 million, 200,000 homes, 200,000 jobs. You know, apparently it's going to be Australia's third biggest economy. The new Western Sydney airport is going to further fuel the demand and supply of people, of jobs in this area. There's going to be, you know, I'm just going to go on and on. The infrastructure is going to allow industries like aerospace, defense, manufacturing, health, agri-science, agribusiness, logistics, retail, education. So it's a 16-year project over 10 stages. Apparently it's going to create, like I said, almost 200,000 jobs, which is like, that's some serious number of jobs, right? So, and more than $4 billion is being invested to enable the road network, because we all know how much of a problem there is of traffic in Sydney. So guys, I'm not here saying that you should invest in Western Sydney based on this. This isn't as interesting as the steelworks or as the first project that I mentioned, the Inland Rail project. But suffice to say, if you invest in Western Sydney, you're definitely going to make money over the next 10, 20 years. but make sure you invest in an area that where the data, not just the infrastructure, but the data suggests it will go up in value in the short term. And I've done a video on that at the start of the year. So go back to that if you haven't already. Number 4, it's the Australia-Singapore military training hub. So if you don't know about these, what this is that the two governments have signed a contract or agreement so that Australia can provide training to almost 15,000 Singapore military personnel for the next 25 years, every single year, right? And Singapore has committed $2.5 billion or almost $2.5 billion to benefit. Here's the two cities that you want to look out for: Townsville and Rockhampton, through this facility infrastructure development. Okay, so to be able for the Australian government to provide that service, Singapore is funding it. It's going to impact Townsville, which, by the way, I just bought a commercial property in, and Rockhampton. So once again, you guys think, hey, PK, what are you talking about? These areas are so regional, like they're exposed to mining, it's a mining town, all that sort of thing. I can tell you, Townsville is diversifying pretty rapidly. So don't have that cognitive bias, do your due diligence, don't just go by this video, but I'm just trying to expose you to real ways in which to make money. Not just based on what your family or friends are telling you, what those Facebook ads are trying to get you sucked into, or what buyer's agents are, putting on their professional hat and trying to cajole you into. All right, so what else should I say about that? So 450 jobs are anticipated, which is actually a pretty big deal for these towns, which aren't, million population towns, and a new $1 billion purpose-built military training facility is also going to be developed at Greenvale, which is just northwest of Townsville. It's already started, so once again, we're not just speculating here. This isn't media. This isn't me trying to big something up. It's already started, the construction. So, once again, you need to do your due diligence. You shouldn't invest in a city, town, state, or suburb just based on infrastructure. All my clients know that. They follow real data. There's more than 35 factors that we look at in terms of regression analysis, statistical models, etc. But these infrastructure projects just give us so much more wood in the fire of data. How's that for an analogy? More logs or more wood in the fire of data, so we have that much more confidence that not only is it going to give us that bump in the short term, but long term, that price increase will continue to go up and up and up. And the last one, and I think a lot of you already know about this, is Maroochydore. So Maroochydore, otherwise known as the Sunshine Coast, there's a $430 billion redevelopment, sorry, not billion, $1 million redevelopment of a former golf course and large adjoining land, which they're going to convert into a modern city for the Sunshine Coast. We all know that the Sunny Coast population growth has been going from leaps to bounds. In my last video, I told you how in Burnie, you could have made about 50 to 70% capital growth in the last 4 to 5 years. And Burnie's population growth has dropped by 20% in those last 5 years. So population growth in of itself isn't the driving factor, but Maroochydore does have that population growth, which is a good bonus. And all of these city center redevelopments will include commercial, retail, high and medium density residential development, high-speed internet, parklands, waterways, bicycle tracks. It's already happening. Once again, this isn't speculation. It's going to increase the visibility of the Sunny Coast. The airport has been expanded. So a lot of this has actually already happened, right? But what happens sometimes with infrastructure, not always, you have to be careful, is that the true benefits are either reaped right at the announcement phase, or sometimes there's another sort of bump up in house values once it's actually been announced, been built, and is implemented, so people can see it. It's that sentiment driving further capital increases. So Sunny Coast has already boomed, guys. It will continue to boom. If you want to be a very lazy investor and you have a spare $700 to $1 million, you should be buying in the Sunny Coast. Don't buy the brand new stuff. Don't buy the new house and land packages on 400 or 500 square meters. There are a few suburbs that we're still investing in Sunny Coast. But the point of this was to say that once again, it's not as cyclical. dynamic. It will continue to go from leaps and bounds. And I'll do a separate video. I know a lot of you guys are thinking, hey, property market is booming. Is this the right time to invest or not? If you want that video, comment yes below in the comment section on YouTube or Facebook, and I'll do that video. But I want to make the point that where there are infrastructure projects, you shouldn't invest solely because of infrastructure projects, but they definitely mean that if the data is right as well, those infrastructure projects mean that capital growth will continue to go up. Property markets don't go up in a linear fashion, they go like that. But where infrastructure exists, you see more of an exponential or linear shape to property market growth. So once again, I hope this video has been useful, guys, as we went through those 5 projects. So what are they? There's number 1, inland rail project that's going to affect places like Bendigo, Shepparton, Wagga Wagga, Parks, Dubbo, Narrabri, Albury, Seymour, etc. There's the GFG Alliance Steelworks, great for wildlife. You've got a low budget, check it out. Number 3, the Western Parkland City in Sydney. Number 4, the Singapore training hubs for their militia, I don't know if that's the right word, military in Rockhampton, Townsville. And then number 5, Sunny Coast, like it's been a star performer. Guys, if this gave you value, hit the thumbs up button on YouTube, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. This is literally where you can make money right now and in the future, guys. So if you're watching on my Facebook group, sorry, once again, tag someone who this is actually going to benefit. Spread the love and tell me if this is helping you. Any questions, leave them below. I'm going to interact and help you. And if you want that video on whether this is the right time to be investing or whether we're too late, I mean, you already know the answer, but I'll elaborate upon it. Tell me yes below as well. Okay, guys, so hopefully this really added value. I'll leave a link below to the Property Investment Accelerator where you can build passive income by buying properties with the combination of positive cash flow and growth, short and long term, without dropping 15K on a buyer's agent, without kind of just becoming confused on real estate or spending weekends at inspections flying around the country. All right, guys, have a beautiful weekend and catch you later. Bye.